So to create a whole new style, I'm going to click on Annotative here, and then on the right side I'm going to click New, and then at the top I need to give my style a name. So I'm going to call it Anno Text 1.25 inches. And then it says start with, and I want it to say annotative, and I want to make sure that annotative is checked in, and down here at the bottom I want it to say all dimensions. And if it says all that, I'll go ahead and click continue. So across the top here we have several tabs, and what I want to do is go through each tab and configure my settings. Now what particularly goes up here is really totally dependent upon the type of drawing that you're working with. So right now we are working with kind of a details, kind of architectural type drawing, so we're going to set things to kind of correspond with that. So we can see right now in a little preview up here at the top what we're going to get if we don't change anything. And if you notice in that previous drawing that I had, we had things kind of in inches and not in decimal value. And that's something that you can change in the drawing units, which is, remember, in the application drop down, you have to go to the units. Alright, so up here at the top I'm in the Lines tab, and I can see here that there's really nothing that I really need to change here. So I'm going to go to the next tab, which is Symbols and Arrows, and I don't really like the arrows. I want to use the architectural ticks instead. And I'm just going to take a look at the other settings here. And as far as knowing what you need to change or not change, it's just really a matter of trial and error. You go through, you change something, and if you like it, you keep it. If you don't, you go back in here and you change it again. Now as far as knowing exactly which one of these things you need to change, this is something that I would recommend for you to refer to the Help menu to know exactly what each of these settings do. So at this window you can either click on Help or press F1. So I'm going to go to the Text window now. And one thing I do want to change is the text style, and to do that I'm going to click this button up here. This is where Civil 3D usually likes to crash on me. And from here I want to make sure that my font name is set to Arial. And then down here at the bottom I want to make sure that the size is going to be set to annotative because I don't want to constantly change it. I want to be using the annotative where it auto adjusts. It's basically what annotative means. Paper text height, so when it plots how tall will the text be, it'll be 1/8 of an inch is what I want. So this all looks good. Yours may not exactly match this, so I would recommend changing yours to match exactly what you see here. So since I didn't have to make any changes, I'll just click cancel. So I'm brought back up here to the top, back to this window again. The next thing that I need to change is the text height down here, and I can see it's already set to 1/8 by default, so I don't need to change that. I do want to align my text with the dimension, so you can see now it has changed that. So this window here all looks good, so I'll go to the Fit, and I want to make sure that annotative is actually checked in here and that everything else kind of matches these settings here, so this all looks very good. In the Primary Units tab, I'm just going to go through here and make some other changes. Where it says Unit Format, I probably want to use Architectural, so you can see now it's changed it to Architectural. The Precision, I probably want to go to 1/16, which it's already set to. Fraction Format is Horizontal, which is fine. I can also add a suffix in here. Sometimes you may need to add, if you're using decimal, you may need to add a little foot symbol. Here you can see in the example preview that it's already there, so you don't really need to do that for this particular example. Over here where it says angular dimensions, right now it says decimal degrees, which I'll leave. For the precision, I do want to change it to 2 decimal places so everything is a bit more consistent. So everything else here in this window looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the next tab, which is Alternative Units. And there's nothing here that I really need to set, so I'm going to go ahead and click on Tolerances tab. In the Tolerances tab, doesn't look like there's anything here that I need to change either, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And you may get another window that opens that says setting another style current will discard your style overrides. Do you wish to continue? You'll go ahead and click OK to that window, and then you'll eventually get back to this window, and when you do, you can go ahead and click Close. So you should see up here at the top in my Annotate tab in the Dimensions group the Annotex 1.25. If it still says standard like the ones next to it, you'll need to click this drop down and actually choose that annotative text that you've selected or that you've created.